Do I have plans for Turbo in 2026? Well, yeah. Even though nothing I say is financial advice, it's nothing anything different though. It's exactly what I've been doing throughout this whole time anyways. And that is just personally for me, if I like a project, if I'm a fan of it, and maybe I'm curious to see what can happen, I just dollar cost average once a month, that's it. Now, this is not a requirement, right? Like, I don't have to do this. This is just something I'm voluntarily doing, just on my own. Not only me, but I'm saying, like, I personally made this choice myself. Like, I just did research and I take a look at something like Turbo. I don't only just hold this though, I hold other projects too. But again, if I'm a fan, I just dollar cost average once a month. The reason why I never, just only hold one project is because I will never be truly able to know, right, what could ever happen to a certain project. So if I don't know that, I don't only just want to hold one. But again, I am not telling anyone to do anything. Turbo, I get it. I mean, it's around 59 times lower than 10 cents. So it's down by quite a significant amount. But at the same time as well, kind of my perception is that, okay, I mean, I saw what Turbo did back in December of 2024. The market cap was around 730 million at one point. Now the market cap is around 120 million, right? It could be different by the time this video is up, but I'm saying as of right now, that is personally what I see. But even besides all that, though, so basically, right, December of 2024 market cap was around 700, again, like I mentioned before, 30 million. So it's actually like if we take a look at it right now, it's around 6 times lower than that. The thing is, if I take a look at something like that, is something like Ethereum around 6 times lower in terms of market cap when compared to where it was back in December of 2024? I personally don't think so. That's just kind of my perspective, right? But I'm not telling anyone to do anything. That's just kind of the way you take a look at it. Even if I take a look at Bitcoin, it's not like that case as well, right? It's not around 6 times lower in terms of market cap when compared to where it was just around a year ago. Like, actually, if we take a look at something like Bitcoin, it's around over 2 times lower than 200 grand, right? But it's actually never reached 200 grand. And that's just like, Bitcoin right now being over 2 times slightly lower than that. But that's just my perspective. Yeah, besides that point though, when I take a look at something like Turbo, I get it. It has a meme vibe, right? I mean, it's a project within this space that is, again, some people like to say, is it a competitor when it comes to Dogecoin or Shiba Inu? No, I don't think that is the case. I mean, those memes, they have their own fan base and they've just been around for quite a while. So something like Turbo is just not going to overtake that ever, in my perspective. Like, I just don't see that happening. That's just my mindset. But besides that, when I take a look at something like, Turbo, it doesn't need to become like the biggest thing out there. Like, why would it have to? It's just down by quite a lot as of right now to the point that does it really need to become that massive? Like I wouldn't even be disappointed if it doesn't become like top five within this meme space or something. Like I wouldn't care about that because not every project could do that. And that's not really like a prerequisite for me either to consider the project to be something I would want to believe in. Just because, again, not every project out there could hypothetically do that, but also at the same time as well, when it comes to this, I'm just staying patient, I'm waiting, and I'm holding. And actually, hypothetically, at the idea of 10 cents market cap at that point, considering the current circulating supply we're seeing right now, it'd be around 7 billion. So it's nothing like that groundbreaking in the grand scheme of things, considering how, I saw Shiba Inu reach around 40 billion back in 2021 in terms of market cap. Dogecoin actually over doubled that, right, at over 80 billion. But I'm saying, like, when I take a look at something like Dogecoin and Shiba, what they did back in 2021, I mean, that was a different time, though, right? There wasn't that much competition when it comes to this sort of meme space. Also, on top of that, like, it just was a time where there wasn't that many options around. But when I take a look at Turbo, I mean, it's nothing necessarily that kind of revolutionary. It's just basically within this space, like something that is created by AI, allegedly. It's a meme created by AI, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that, it has any of these revolutionary AI capabilities. No, it doesn't have any of that in my perspective. Like, it's just a project literally that kind of has more of a fun vibe. It's not really like evaluated based off the fundamentals or the use case because quite frankly, I mean, when it comes to memes within this space, the use case isn't necessarily the best. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them just don't really focus on that, but it's not a requirement anyways, I think in some cases when it comes to this space. Now it's a bit of a different situation of let's say, we're entering into that space of projects that are focused on utility and something like that. Then in that case, yeah, they need utility, right? But in this case, it's a little bit different. Different project, different vibe, different area, different sector, different niche. So yeah, it's completely different than I would say like the way I would evaluate something like, for instance, in the case of Cardano, right? Cardano is a layer one blockchain. Like, of course, I'm going to take a look at it differently than something like this. But again, I'm going to still do what I've been doing throughout this entire time anyways. And okay, like the market cap's not doing the best, it's around 120 million. But since my sort of hypothetical intent is to be doing something called dollar cost averaging, I'm not necessarily going to be complaining, I guess, too much. That's just my perspective. And also on top of that, people may be thinking, okay, why was the sentiment better back in early 2024 than right now, despite the market cap being lower back in early 2024 when compared to right now? Because early in 2024, market cap was like, around that sort of 20 million, and then it became like, 20 something million, around that range, right? But people may be wondering, okay, the market cap was lower back then than right now, right? But why is the sentiment better back then? Because I think back then there was really no kind of like massive dip or something like that or pullback that we could kind of take a look at in the short to medium term and feel like, oh wow, Turbo just did that. There wasn't really that feeling. So yes, even though the market cap as of right now is higher than back then, but because of the significant pullback, the feeling of the sentiment is going to, of course, be different than back then. Because back then it was just like, oh, it's a project with a relatively speaking not so massive market cap, but there was no like major pullback that just happened. So I think as a result of that, the sentiment was better back then. But as of right now, I saw what Turbo did without an altcoin season. Could that hypothetically be the same case, moving forward? I mean, I don't know. I cannot control that, right? But all I can do is just stay patient, I guess, and just hold. Like, when I take a look at Turbo, for instance, there's around 66,000 holders. Like, me being one out of over 60,000, like, I cannot do anything about this project at all. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be able to be something I could do this or do that. No, there's none of that. Like, I can't do any of that. The only thing I can do is just wait. That's it. If I just randomly exited out of Turbo, the project would not care, this space would not care. Keep in mind, within this space, there's allegedly over 600 million owners. If one person, for example, like me, right, if I just exit, this space will not care. It's just going to do its thing. It doesn't matter. But then I'm choosing to voluntarily wait anyways. But besides that, I just wanted to make a video when it comes to this. I'm still staying patient. I haven't given up. But yeah, that's all I want to say actually for this video. And if there's going to be more updates when it comes to Turbo, I will be making a video when it comes to that. And yeah, hopefully y'all stay tuned for more updates. I want to say thank you for watching. It's been Lee the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.